That's what's made a huge difference in my career. It's how I talk to myself. I really had to reprogram my mind because I used to see the world in a very negative way. And I had to reprogram my mind and change my perspective and really work on me and build up my confidence and build up my love for myself. And that's what really helped me in LA. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're having an amazing, amazing day, an amazing morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're listening or watching. I am Antoine Troupe. I'm here to give you some tutorials. I want to give you some advice on what it takes to be a professional dancer. That's what this channel is about. That's what I'm trying to promote. I'm trying to, whether you want to be a professional dancer or you just want to be great, you just love dance and you want to be great at it, I'm here for you. I got your back. I got some info, some tips to really help you. Me, myself, I'm a professional choreographer. I've been a professional dancer, a world traveling teacher, a battler. I've seen dance from a little bit of every perspective and at the highest levels. I've taught at the biggest camps in the world. I've worked with some of the biggest artists in the world. And I now am also a owner, co-founder of Creative Mind Dance Academy. You can see it right here. And here, this is where we breed professional dancers. This is where we grow the next generation. That's what we're all about. Today, we are talking about advice for dancers who want to dance in the industry. So if you want to make a living from dance, this is the video for you. We're gonna talk about the why, what, who, when, where, how of becoming a professional dancer, a working dancer. Let's go ahead and start with why. Okay, I'm really big on intention. Whenever I start my classes, I always have all the dancers set an intention. It's very, very important. What is your why? What is your reason? What is your purpose? Right? That's where you want to start, and then you want to build from there. That's going to guide all of your decisions. That's going to guide you and create your roadmap for your career. So first, you need to start with why. Why do you want to be a professional dancer? Right? And if you feel like the reason is you feel like it will make you, it will validate you, or you want to be famous, or you think it'll make you rich, all that kind of stuff, that's not a good reason to start. That has nothing to do with dance. That's something you need to work on personally. That's a self-love kind of situation, right? You need to find that love and that validation in yourself before trying to go pursue it and get it from other people by becoming a industry dancer or by trying to pursue being on TV and touring the world and all that kind of stuff. But if you really love dance and you can see yourself doing this forever and this is all you want to do, it's all you think about, it's what you really, really love and what you're really passionate about, and you feel like you want to inspire the world and you feel like you can help people and change people through your dance, then I feel like dancing in the industry, working professionally, then this could be for you. But you do have to be prepared that it is challenging. You have to really, I can't stress enough how much you have to really love this. It gets really challenging sometimes. It gets really, really hard. Sometimes it can be lonely. Sometimes you're gonna have to get told no over and over and over again, and you still gotta wake up every day and continue to wanna go at it and put everything into it and put your full effort into it. So you have to really, really, really love this. You have to really ask yourself, am I willing to go through the ups and the downs and really hustle and hustle and hustle, because it is a hustle. The hustle does not stop when you're a professional dancer. It's not like you just get your opportunity and you're on forever and you don't have to do anything else. The work never stops, right? So you gotta be prepared for that. Okay, so number two, we're gonna go over the what. So what kind of jobs do you wanna do? It's very, very important to know that if you want to be a professional dancer. A lot of people I ask that tell me they want to be a professional dancer, they want to work professionally. I'm like, okay, well, what kind of jobs do you want to do? And they're like, I'll do anything. That's not the mindset you want to have, right? Because if you want to just do anything, then you're going to end up just doing anything. You're going to end up doing stuff you really are not passionate about. You're going to end up being around people that you don't necessarily want to be around. You're going to end up dancing choreography that maybe is not fulfilling to you. And some of that stuff is kind of unavoidable. You're going to have to do it here and there, right? You got to pay your dues. You got to earn your stripes, right? But for the most part, long term, you want to know what kind of jobs do you want to be doing? What kind of artists do you want to work with? What kind of choreography do you see yourself doing? What kind of life do I want to live as a dancer? Anything is that's not a goal. You can't set a goal for anything, because how do you approach anything? Which direction do you go to accomplish anything, right? You need to be specific. This is what I want, this is who I am, and this is what I'm going for. You gotta have a target and aim for the target. Next is who. Who do you want to work with? Who are the choreographers that you want to work with in the industry? Who are the choreographers that are choreographing the jobs that you want to be on, right? So you set your intention, you know what kind of jobs you want to do. Now, who are the people that are doing those kinds of jobs? Because if you know who, then you know where you need to be training, who you need to be training with, right? You got to be really smart, you know? There's a lot of skilled, talented dancers out there. But next level to that, what's going to help you really have a long, successful career is being a smart dancer. You really got to use your head and be wise in the decisions you're making, in the direction you're going, and who you're training with, and where you're training, right? So if you want to dance for Beyonce, who's Beyonce's choreographer? You don't have opportunities to work with Beyonce's choreographer directly, and they do teach. Right now it's like Jaquel Knight and Chris Grant. They teach here and there. Okay, so let's take a step down from there. Who are their assistants? Can you train with their assistants? Who are the dancers? Can you train with their dancers, right? You just want to get in that realm and start to not only learn how they move, but what is the thinking? Because the way they think, who they are, is what got them that job. Not just how good they dance, but who they are and the habits that they have. And you need to get around those people and learn those kinds of things, and that's what's going to help you get on that job. So it's very, very important. Know who the people are in the industry that are making the moves, that are doing the things that you want to do, and get around those people. So we just went, we did the why, we set our intention, we know what kind of jobs we want to do, we know who we want to work with, right? Now the next step, where? Where do you need to be? Where do you need to live in order to work consistently? I know people want to just stay in their hometown and just maybe like fly out for auditions and make it work that way. And that has worked for very, very few people. That is a very unique circumstance. Typically, it doesn't work for 99% of dancers, right? You need to live in the place where things are happening, where things are moving daily, right? You need to live where your industry thrives. So you need to decide, okay, do I need to be in LA? Do I need to be in Atlanta? Do I need to be in New York? Do I need to be in London? Those are kind of the big hubs for the industry. Florida is kind of coming up with a lot of the like Latin artists. So really figure out, where do I need to be? So really figure out where you need to be, or you need to be smart and kind of come up with a game plan like, okay, maybe I'm not ready for LA, but I'm gonna go to London first, or I'm gonna go to Atlanta first, right? Or maybe you really wanna be in Atlanta, but you live in California. Maybe you come train in LA, work in LA, then transition if Atlanta's where you really wanna be. If you're like, I really wanna work with Sean Bankhead. Sean Bankhead is in Atlanta, so that's where you need to go. Right? So be really smart, be really strategic with where you choose to be. And if you need to move, you need to move. You know, I was in the Bay Area, and for the longest time, I wanted to just make it from the Bay. I wanted to hold it down for the Bay, right? But I just realized like I was very limited. I'd hit a ceiling in the Bay Area. I did as much as I could do living in the Bay, and that was great. And I learned a lot. I gained a lot from that experience, but I reached a cap where I was like, okay, if I want to take myself to the next level, if I want to take my career to the next level, it's time. I gotta move, and I gotta go where the people like me are. I gotta go be around those people consistently. Not here and there, once a month, once a year, a couple times a year. I need to be there, I need to live it. I can't be a professional dancer on and off. It has to be my lifestyle. And that's what changed everything for me. Number 5, okay, so when? Okay, so why do I say when? A lot of people question like, okay, am I too old? Am I too young? More than anything, I would say Where are you in your life, in your mindset, in your mentality? Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are and what you want? Do you have enough strength and love in yourself to come into this wilderness? And if you don't know who you are and you don't love who you are, it's very easy to get thrown into the wrong crowds and caught up in the wrong kind of stuff. So I would really do some self-work, some inner work, and really discover you and get clear on who you are and what you want in life before you move. I know, like, we can go on and on about how much money should I have, but I think the biggest thing, honestly, is like, do I love me? Am I secure in who I am before I go into this place and into this industry, right? I think that's the biggest thing, because whether you saved up a bunch of money, I think more than anything, I've seen people move here with close to nothing, and I've seen people move here with $10,000. And either way, they're in the same boat. You know, that $10,000, whatever, that's gonna run out. And if you don't love yourself and you don't know who you are, it's really not gonna matter. You know what I mean? So the biggest thing is just working on you gotta really work on you. That's what's made a huge difference in my career. It's how I talk to myself. I really had to reprogram my mind, because I used to see the world in a very negative way. And I had to reprogram my mind and change my perspective and really work on me and build up my confidence and build up my love for myself. And that's what really helped me in LA. The last one is how, right? What do you need to do exactly? Like, how do you do it, right? So you set your intention, you know what kind of jobs you want to do, you know who you want to work with, you know where you need to be, you know yourself, and you know when to move, right? You have all those things figured out. Now it's like, okay, you've gotten here, you've gotten to Atlanta, you've gotten to London, whatever. Now, what do I do, right? How do I get an agent? How do I need to be training? What does my resume and headshot need to look like? How do I market myself, build relationships, work on my look, all that kind of stuff? Those are the things that are really important, aside from just being a good dancer. Being just skilled is not enough. Being just skilled, being talented is not enough to work professionally, to have a long-lasting career. There's so much more to it. Just like any other field, any other industry. It's not just about being good. It's like all that other stuff. Can you collaborate with people? Are you professional? Do you show up on time? Do you know how to like manage your relationships? Do you have the look, the style? Do you look the part, right? All that kind of stuff is really important. And I'm gonna make videos specifically on how to get an agent, what your resume and headshot should look like, how to build relationships or networking. I don't like to say networking anymore. I like to just say relationship building, because I think that changes the perspective, and I think that's a bigger deal than networking. Networking seems so mysterious and like, what is that? But think of it more as relationship building, right? And it doesn't mean you have to be best friends with everybody. You can have business relationships with people. You can be acquaintances, but have like a strong professional relationship with that person. But those are the things that are important. You have to go to where you need to be and then find an agency. Why? Because agencies are going to send you on auditions. But agencies they're not everything. It's not like you just get an agent and then you don't have to do any work. Your career is still in your hands. You still have to manage your career. The agencies are going to help you just like anybody else when it comes to like mentors or the people you're training with. They're going to help you and guide you, but at the end of the day, your life is your own responsibility. Your career is your own responsibility, right? So there's getting an agent, and that's going to be either somebody refers you or you audition for an agent. Where should you be training? Again, goes back to the who. You need to be training with the people who are doing the kinds of things that you want to do. So be really smart. Also, resume and headshot. Your headshot needs to look professional. If you go on somebody like Block Talent Agency, go on their website, you can Google it, go on their website, they have a lot of headshots up there. A lot of their dancers, working dancers have headshots there. Look at those headshots and kind of like emulate that. You really want to have a good professional headshot. But when you're first starting out, your resume, at least it needs to just have your training on it. Who have you spent time training with, right? So you really want to have, again, who? You really want to have the people on there that do the things that you want to be doing. When it comes to your look, you have to look the part. If you want to be a Chris Brown dancer, how do they dress? What do they wear on stage? Like, you need to look like you would kind of fit in that crowd. I'm not talking about you have to change who you are and be them. But it's just like when it comes to auditioning, you have to look the part. Look like you belong with them already, if that makes sense. And your look and how you present yourself, your presentation, it's like, what does your presentation look like? How you look tells me how serious you take yourself. Relationship building, that is really just, that's a skill you need to work on outside of just the industry. You really need to just start, can you have conversations with people? Do you actually care about people and what they have to say and who they are? Learn how to just get out of your own head and just caring about yourself and how you feel. But how do other people feel? What are they going through? What is their story? I think if you can genuinely begin to care about people, that's really going to pay off in your career as well. Because that's the people, any of us working choreographers, that's the kind of people we want to be around. People who are just good people, right? And people who aren't just take. I just want to get something from you. We don't want that. We want to be around good people. We're still human. Outside of this industry, we still are human. We have a heart. We care. We want the same things that anybody else wants, right? So that's very, very important. And yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. That's my advice for anybody who wants to be a professional dancer. But yeah, I really hope this helps, man. I really want to, that's what I'm passionate about. I really want to help people accomplish the dreams and goals that they have in their mind, When I was coming up, I didn't really have anywhere I could go to get the information that I needed, right? And when I came to LA, it was just kind of figure it out on your own. There wasn't too many people really creating content like this that I could learn from and be like, oh, okay, that's what I need to do. That's how I need to look at it, blah, 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 blah. And that's what we really want to do. Me and the rest of the team, I got my guy MJ shooting this, editing this. So this really cool edit that MJ did that. We also got my guy Brandon, who's the chief content officer here at Creative Minds Dance Academy. The whole creative team, marketing team, my partner Kalani, everybody at KM, we really are about impacting lives and creating value. We really want to create value and really help you. So help us help you. Get in the comments, tell us what you need. What do you need? What's on your mind? What are you thinking about? What keeps you up at night? We want to kind of calm down some of that nervousness, anxiety, fear, and just answer a lot of those questions you have that just take up space in your mind. Please share this with somebody if it's helped you and you feel like it can help your friend. Send it to them. Love you all. Thank you so much. P.S. I'm back. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Every time you get a notification, it's going to be something that's going to help you. I promise you.
Good. I really like the care about other people bit.
Oh man, it's so important.
Yeah, dude.
You gotta care. People need to start being more empathetic. We gotta start getting out of our own head and our own feelings, and I think that is gonna solve how we feel. It's just by helping somebody else with how they feel.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if we all just started doing that?
Yeah, loving.
Instead of being an island.
Yeah. I had someone talk to me about I just met him the other day.
Yeah.
And he just really wanted me to just start doing shit for him. And I'm you don't even know
right
how old I am, but
right, you don't know anything. Do you know my name?
Yeah.
Right.
I was just damn, that was so quick. So
yeah.
I was literally ranting about it on my Instagram story.
Yeah.
People are missing the whole a step in the relationship building.
Absolutely.
And I feel relationship building will make or break a career.
Absolutely. It's everything. And people can sense, just like you said, people can sense when you just want something and you have nothing to give and you don't want to give anything. Yeah. You're just trying to I can tell when I'm just a stepping stone for somebody. You know what I mean? I'm just your launching pad to get to the next thing, right? And at the end of the day, it's okay, you step on this person, step on this person, step on this person, and you do some cool stuff in your career, but then once your career is over, who do you really have?
Yeah.
Do you have any friends? because you burnt all those bridges and you just used all those people, and now, okay, your career's done, but now do you have love?
Yeah.
Do you have people who will show up for you when it's your birthday to celebrate you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you really got to think about, like, I know this is kind of morbid, but the day you leave this earth, is anybody going to show up?
Yeah.
You know, or is it just going to be, are you just going to be like alone, you know? And that's more important than, people get so caught up in advancing their career and impressing everybody. But impressing somebody, does that mean they love you? People can like your stuff all day. They can comment, fire emojis, heart eyes all day, but do they actually care about you?
Yeah.
And do you actually care about them at the end of the day? I think social media has got a lot of people confused and caught up on the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
Where we value the quick validation and the quick likes and the quick, like that endorphin, what is it called?
Endorphin rush.
Endorphin rush.
Or
What's it called?
Oh, I know what you're talking
You know what I'm talking about.
Self-gratification.
That self-gratification, that quick self-gratification, but long-term it's not enough. That's why people need more and more. They feel like they gotta post something every day, and I gotta keep posting. I gotta do this to get the attention. I gotta like, it's forcing people to behave in ways they never would before, because they see like, oh, I can get attention.
Yeah.
But attention's not love.
Yeah.
You know, attention. You'll never have enough. It'll never fulfill you. It'll never sustain you. It's always like, somebody always is going to have more attention than you. You know, you're always going to be chasing that. It's the same thing with money. You know, yeah, it's cool. Attention and money and fame and all of that is cool, but if you go to sleep at night feeling lonely and you don't even fully love yourself, then you're broke. You have nothing.
Right.
Doesn't matter how many followers you have. Doesn't matter how much money you have. Like, that's not what success is, you know? Like, we should be pursuing all of those things because it's making us happier. But there's a lot of people with followers that are sad. It's a lot of people with money that are sad, you know? So I think if we just start to, if all of our intentions and all of our decisions were guided with empathy and compassion and love, and we put people first and not just us first, I think there'll be a whole lot more love in the world. There'll be a whole lot more peace in the world. And there wouldn't be so many people that are sad and anxious and depressed every day trying to keep up with, I need more attention, I need more attention, I need more attention. Like, I feel like that would change everything. So, I just feel that. I feel that so much. Like, I feel it in my whole body right now. Like, how much that's needed, you know? And I mean, even me, I get caught up in it, you know? You see other people being more successful, or their careers taking off, and they're getting all this love or perceived love. But man, that race never ends.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get caught up in that race, especially because people pick and choose. Like, every other day they love somebody else. Every other day somebody's the new GOAT.
Yeah.
It's like, you the GOAT, then the next person, the next week somebody else is the GOAT,
Yeah.
and then they're the GOAT, and it's like, you can't chase that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just it's a never-ending battle, struggle, race. You know, I want to chase, like, how much can I love me? How much can I love people? Like, I've really been thinking about that lately. Like, I want to, like, be love.
Yeah.
Like, I want that to radiate from me when I walk in a room, you know? And there's been some stuff recently that I've gone through that I feel like keeps me from doing that in multiple facets of my life. So that really is my focus right now. It's like,
trying to hone in on, like,
you know, like what I want to feel from other people. It's like, okay, if you want that, if you want to feel that, you need to like be that. As hard as it may be to be that, and it's challenging, you know, because we can feel like we don't trust people's intentions and they don't care about me, and why should I give to them? They're not going to give to me. But I feel like if I can really live that, and with no expectations of getting anything back, I feel like at some point, one way or another, it's gonna come back to me.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like it's gonna make me feel it so much more, you know. And imagine if that became the cool thing. Imagine if that became like, how much can I actually really care?
Yeah.
About somebody?
Yeah.
Could you imagine what that would be like? That would be like, I don't even know.
It'd be hard, I feel, because
Yeah.
because giving too much of yourself will also be toxic to your own personal life.
Yeah, there's definitely got to be a balance.
Yeah.
It's like, I think people will feel that love that I'm talking about, like that radiation of love is like, the more, it's like that balance. It can't be, it's like you said, it can't just be one way.
Yeah.
You know, and also that would not come off authentic.
Yeah.
Anyways, if it's just like all about you, you know, and you definitely, I think everybody needs to like have that love for themselves and that respect for themselves as well.
You should get care.
Like, of course, I want my life to look dope. I want it to look lit, just like everybody else's, right? But in reality, I want it to be 10 times better, you know? I think people get so caught up in like, as long as my life looks good on social media, then it's all good. Even though my real reality is in the dumps.
Yeah.
I don't want that, you know? I want, if I look like I'm happy and I look like I'm rich and I look like I'm successful on Instagram, in reality, I want to be 10 times more wealthy. I want to be 10 times happier. I want to be 10 times more lit than what it looks like. You know what I mean? Like that's my goal. You know, I think people got it confused. It's like they want their Instagram to look 10 times better than their reality.
Yeah.
Why? Because you live 99% of your life is in the real world.
Yeah.
Only 1% of your life is broadcasted on social media.
Right.
You know? So why would you make 1% be great and the rest of the 99% is trash?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I like the percentage.
Yeah. Make your 99% incredible. And then the 1% people do see, they be inspired by.
Yeah.
You know? Alright, I'm done with my rant.
I have another question. Just like in general, like when do you think it all shifted?
What do you mean?
Like, were you always like mindful, like being present? Like I know you speak on that a lot. Like I guess at my age, I'm 24.
Yeah.
Were you the same way as well?
At 24 is when it started to shift for me.
I see.
Because I went through in high school I was like a really depressed, very introverted. I'm still pretty introverted. Right. And that's why some people think I'm mean, because I'm not like a super social person.
Yeah.
I'm just like super to myself. But I was really depressed in high school, and then I managed to come out of it through dance. Dance definitely helped me with that. I came out of it, but then when I was like 22, I had like a really, really rough year, and I was struggling with a lot of things.
I see.
Struggling with like my faith. I was struggling with like, I lost a lot of kind of like, my crew kind of broke up, and I felt like I lost a lot of friends, and it just was like a really weird space for me. I owed a bunch of money because of like some like traffic tickets that I didn't know about. So then they like were like the cost of them like went up, and I had to go to court for it, and blah 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 blah. But so I was going through a lot of stuff, and I started to feel depressed again, and it just scared me. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna go through this again. Like, cause I was in high school, it was like the whole 4 years of my high school, I was dealing with that, you know? And it's not a fun place to be. So I was like, okay, I need to change everything, you know? I think people get to this point, and I've heard about this in a lot of people. Everybody successful that I've studied, it's like a lot of people go through this like rock bottom moment, and that's when you're like, okay, I have no choice but to change. And also I have nothing to lose because I've lost everything already, you know? So that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna change everything. I need to adopt a whole new mindset. And I just started studying every successful person that I've ever heard of, came across, I would watch interviews, and interviews led to like, they say like successful people, like success leaves clues, right? Success leaves clues. And basically that means like, if you really study success, you'll start to, or successful people, you'll start to hear them say a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So I just started accumulating like, okay, they keep saying like, they keep talking about like the law of attraction or the power of positive thinking, right? Or they keep talking about these same kinds of books, or they all wake up at around this time in the morning. They all have these kinds of habits when it comes to dealing with people. So I just kind of started taking like everything that I was learning from all these successful people, and I just was like, you know what? I got nothing to lose. I'm gonna just try to adopt these habits and these mindsets. And that's really what is the difference. It's the habits and the mindsets of the talented people. That's what separates talented people who are really successful and talented people who fail.
Right.
It's really the mindset and the habits that they have. And yeah, I just took a chance and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna just try all of these things. And even though I'm skeptical and I don't know if this is gonna work, I'm gonna try it.
Like self-affirmations.
Like affirmations. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's a big one I believe in. And that's something I've lived. Yeah. Like every morning I would have note cards that had affirmations on it, and I would go through every affirmation. I am confident.
Yeah.
Boom, next one. I'm a world traveling teacher. Boom, next one. I'm an amazing leader. Next one. And not only would I say it, but I would visualize it. I would feel it. What does that feel like? What does that look like? Like I used to, before we had our studio, I had one card that was like, I'll sell out classes at Millennium. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I did that like 5 times in a row. Sold out. Boom, 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 boom. You know, like everything that I am now and everything in my career that has happened, I was saying it a long time ago. Before I had a car, before I had my own apartment, before I had money, before people really, really knew who I was saying these things.
You had it in the palm of your head. Hand before you. You know E.T. the hip hop preacher?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Eric Thomas. Yeah. So that's what I was doing always, and I just continued to like meditate on those things and see those things happening for me, and if there's something that happens subconsciously, your mind, you start to like put the pieces together as to like what needs to happen to make those things real.
I see.
You know, our brains are powerful things. And I think that's what it really changed me, is like learning how powerful our mind really, really is. Mm-hmm. And taking advantage. That was kind of my thing in the beginning, was like, how can I really use my mind to its full capacity?
Yeah.
And that's something like, it'll take my entire life to really be able to do that. But I've learned how to take advantage of the power we really have, you know? And yeah, that's what changed everything for me. And I said, just my life just started to change. How I felt about myself, how I felt about the rest of the world. Opportunities just started coming to me, and things just got crazy. So that's how I've been able to do, I've been able to do anything and everything that I wanted to do in my career. And I literally feel like nothing can stop me. If I want to do something, if I want to get something, I'm going to get it. Because now I know the formula. I know exactly what it takes to be able to accomplish anything. I know the mindset, I know the habits. I'm willing to do everything. I'm willing to wake up early. I'm willing to go to sleep late. I'm willing to be tired and keep working. I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to, if I want something to happen, I'm going to obsess over like, what are the steps? Like, what do I need to do exactly to like get there, you know?
Because it puts you that deep into that passion.
Exactly. It's like, I want to live it. I'm going to fully be in that world, you know? And I'm going to try to be my best at it. I just know like what it really takes. And that's what has made my entire career, you know? And now I have bigger and better dreams and bigger goals, and now I'm putting in the work and doing what's necessary to create that. So yeah, I would say like around 24, like 23, 24 is like when it all started changing for me. and
Like mindset.
yeah, mindset.
Mindfully.
Rich Dad Poor Dad is a good book.
Oh,
That's
you heard
what
about it?
Yeah,
I gotta read it.
yeah. That's the book that kind of just that put it into perspective. That put it into perspective that rich people, whether it's rich in love, rich in money, rich in success, whatever, rich people and poor people, they think two different ways.
Yeah.
It's not that they have different skill sets. They think in two different ways. And that's what makes a difference. And that's why they say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
Yeah.
It's all because of the mindset. And a lot of people who are poor and whatever, they have a certain way of looking at the world and themselves. And they have certain habits that they have that keeps them down that path, that keeps them there. And the rich in love or whatever it is, finances, they have a certain way they think. And that opened my mind to like, dang, it just made so much sense. And then that helped. That was like one of the books that really kicked off a lot of everything else for me, like this whole personal development world. And now I'm still in it, like heavy.
It's
like
fun.
It's fun, yeah, because I get to like listen to a podcast, read a book, whatever, and then go use those things in my life. Like I get to actually test it, experiment with it, and be like, oh, that works. Okay, let's see if I go a little bit harder, tweak this. Like I'm constantly experimenting, So
You follow, not follow. Have you read Mamba Mentality?
I haven't. Nah.
I haven't read it. It's just something
No, I haven't read it. I'm sure it's good though, and I'm sure he's gonna say a lot of the same things that all the other successful people say. It's gonna be a lot about mindset. It's gonna be a lot about habits. You know. So yeah, that was a lot. There's still people on the live. I hope that helped y'all.